One thing you'll notice is I've got the lizard T-Rex and it's rather dirty, so I've put it to work doing a few things. So let's jump into the build mode and I'll have a look at the starting farm. So the starting farm is just adjacent. Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms for our first episode of our Let's Play series on Zielonka. So this is the premium expansion and premium edition for the FS22 franchise. So basically what we're going to be doing in this series is playing through the map, experiencing the new machines, new crop types, etc. Now I've made a few changes initially to the map, so I'll get into those in a minute. I've started in farm manager mode. I'll walk you through what I've done. So it's a little bit different, a little bit unconventional, but let's have a look. So this is the farm area. Or farm shop, sorry. One thing you'll notice is I've got the lizard T-Rex and it's rather dirty, so I've put it to work doing a few things. So let's jump into the build mode and I'll have a look at the starting farm. So the starting farm is just adjacent to the farm shop and it's in this area here, so you can obviously see it's been removed. So what I've done is I've come through, I've deleted all the buildings, I've retained some of the bushes that were here, gotten rid of most of the trees, and I have leveled and softened the area because it was quite flat through here with a few sort of slopes up around this area, so you can kind of see, not really close up, but kind of where the deformation of the ground used to be. And this has all been softened and prepped to turn into a field. So I think I'm going to turn this into a field at some stage. And I've deleted all the trees, and by deleted I mean I've used the lizard T-Rex to delete them. So I'm playing on console. That's the only way to get rid of trees on console. So just to sort of open up the area a little bit more, remove obstacles for the machines. And over in this area, so if you're familiar with Zielonka, you'll notice that this was all covered in trees. So I've deleted all the trees off of here, and we're just left with this old shed barn looking thing. So that's going to, there's a golden apple just in there too, I think. So they're worth $5,000 apparently. There's 50 on the map. Yeah, so I've cleared this area out. So I'm probably going to put a solar farm or a wind farm or something in here just to sort of utilize that space, because currently it was just a bit of a wooded area with not much going on. So now that it's been cleared, I could potentially level it off as well, put some buildings in there, but I'm thinking solar panels to start with, and then we'll just go from there. And like I mentioned, we've got our original OG farm location, which has been removed. So I've kind of set up for a new farm area, which I'll get to in a minute, but basically why I moved from here, or looked to move from here, was basically the area is quite small and the area around it is quite hilly, and it would be very hard to flatten without ruining sort of the aesthetic of the map. So if you look out over the distance there, you can see the rolling hills, all that sort of stuff, and I wanted to retain that as much as possible, particularly in this section of the map and particularly through here. So if we look out onto the bigger map, our starting farm is here, and then there's a north farm which is up here, and then there's a southern farm which is down here. So if we just pop down here quickly, the southern farm is just here. So I did look at this location for a farm because of the flatter area and for expansion with buildings and other such things. It seemed like a good idea. However, I didn't want to disrupt the current field layout by putting in, you know, say for example taking up a field here for construction purposes. I wanted to utilize the spare sort of flat ground in and around the map. So if we zoom back out, you can sort of see we've got this area here where you can build on. There's area here that's free. Not so much in this area, perhaps just here or there, but a lot of these areas, we'll go and have a look, they're actually quite hilly as well, with a lot of dips and valleys. So like it's not so pronounced through here, but I really didn't want to disrupt, like this area is probably not too bad, but it's a little bit small for probably what I would want to build on. And like I said, I don't want to disrupt the current layout of the fields because I quite like them, and I think the aesthetics are quite good. So the area that I settled on, so if we just cruise back over to the starter farm, which is down this way. So we're back at the starter farm. So I'll go back to the big map again. So basically over in this area next to the grain mill and close to the potato processing factory, there's this big section here which is sort of untouched. And I didn't want to go north or south too far because I wanted to sort of remain in the middle of the map, which makes it easier to basically get everywhere else you need to go for transport purposes. And it looks to me like the southern end of the map is probably more suited for larger farming operations, maybe some in the middle. But up here, it's like smaller fields, so it sort of suits a different sort of gameplay style. Of course, these can be all joined up, so it's much of a muchness, but I quite like this section here in the middle and this section here through there. So the area that I settled on was basically here because of the reasons of ease of access to the shop, so it's relatively close to the middle. We've got good access to all points on the map, so all the production points. It's very central, but it's not too far south or too far north. So let's cruise on over to this area, and I'll show you what I have done. So let's get our bearings. So if we head back up to the shop, which is just through here. So before I move on, actually, a couple of other areas that I looked at. So I looked at this area here, so field 33 and 34. So sort of leveling that and turning that into a potential spot. However, I didn't think it would be big enough. And once again, didn't want to utilize the fields that were already here for building on. Field 50, so in the middle, it's got a bit of a dip, and it's quite expansive. So here would have been alright to build on, but once again, didn't want to use that field. So what I did do is actually we'll go back up to the shop quickly, and then I'll take you down the main road, and you kind of get a feel for what we're doing. So coming down from the main shop, head down this road, and we get to this bridge and lake section. And what I've done is, you'll probably start to see shortly, is I've put in a little bit of a drive entrance here. So this is where most of the vehicles will come in and out of. And this area here, I've leveled. Okay, so I've taken the 1.5 million. I've leveled most of this area here. So where the grass edges, that basically signifies where the area has been flattened. I've got a little bit of smoothing to do just in these sort of areas here, just to sort of even it up. But I'll basically give myself a nice big flat area to build on. Now, if I don't build on every part of it, that's fine. I can still turn some of this into a field by ploughing it, etc. And it won't really have any negative benefit. One thing I have added though is this bridge setup. So you can see this here. This wasn't there before. So I've raised up the terrain on either side of the little culvert, put in this little track to give me access to this side of the creek bed, so I can also build on here, put fields in here if I need to, because it is relatively flat as well, so it's suitable for building on. And I've cleared out all the trees that were here, so there was quite a few trees sort of in this section, a few trees along this border, and then there was quite a few trees along this section here, which I've subsequently removed, just to make it easy to get vehicles in and out, not going to get stuck on stuff, that type of thing. So that is where the farm is going to be located, so just basically in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hook in, so we'll go back to our main area, and we're going to start placing our income generators. So let's go into productions, generators. So we're just going to go solar panels straight away, and I'm going to be pretty liberal with the placement of these. So I want them fairly dense, but I don't want it to look too contrived. Just keep it sort of nice and uniform. Now I'm going to put down as many as I can, and then I'm going to max out my loan. So basically what this will do is this will give us probably 3,000 to 4,000 per solar panel per month, and then that'll cover our leasing costs and our loan repayment. So I'm going to go grab a loan. So we're going to max this loan out if I can remember where it is. Okay, so let's take a max value loan out of 500,000. So I'm going to keep clicking this and then I'll cut it back in. All right, there we are, 500,000. So we're 1.5 million in the hole plus a $500,000 loan. And what the plan's going to be is we're going to lease equipment as well. So I'm going to return this Lizard T-Rex. I mean, probably one of my favorite implements. So let's get this returned. Forestry machinery, let's return. Yes. All right, and we've got some used vehicles. So I think what I'm going to do is if there's a great deal on a tractor, which this is not too bad, it's probably a little bit of overkill for what we need now. What I'm going to do is sort of build out a fleet, get stuck into the carrots, parsnips, and whatever else. I've got seasons turned on, all the base game settings are on, so I may alter them down the track. I've got easy economy settings because I like to have money. I like the income you get generated from easy economy. But yeah, basically that's going to be the plan. So let's get started. So let's just check our crop calendar. So we're in August. We can plant canola, we can harvest sorghum, potatoes, beets, carrots, parsnip, so they're in harvest season as well. So let's have a look at the contracts actually. This might be a good opportunity to sort of see if we can dip our toe in the world of carrot farming. Okay, so we've got that there. Not really interested. Oh, one thing we do need to do is put a farmhouse down so we can sleep. So we're just going to go our El Cheapo farmhouse. So I'm going to probably place this down next to this building here, with the view to probably remove it at some stage. So we'll do a nice homestead somewhere. All right, let's go and sleep. Just double check that's not going to be in the way. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so with the ability to have the farmhouse, the solar panels, so the solar panels are going to start paying for themselves straight away from day one. It's going to give us it's going to cover our cash flow for leasing, and if there are any vehicles that we want to buy through the used vehicle sales, so 11,000 in property income, very good. Okay, cool. All right, what season are we in? September. Now I don't want to just start off doing contracts for the sake of it. I want to try and have a look at, yeah, I'll probably pass on the contracts for now because I want to focus on our own operation. So let's go and have a look at the harvesting. So when's planting season for these guys? Not until the next April. Okay. I'm actually going to turn seasons off so we can get stuck into planting what we want to plant straight away. So let's get this seasons turned off. I'll keep days per month as it is. Fixed visual month I'll keep the same. Snow, all that stuff. Crop destruction's on. Fieldstone. Let's turn fieldstone off. Turn off weeds. Keep lime on. Periodic clearing. Crop destruction. All right. Let's get cracking. So I'm going to sleep again. See if we can get something in the used vehicle sales, and then we're going to start going hard on the carrots straight away. What I will do too is I've purchased some land, so I'll run you through the land that I've purchased as part of the farming operation. Okay, 18,000. So that's pretty good. Oh, we've got some. What's that? Sorghum. Okay, ready to harvest. Okay, so we own. Let's go back to our main map. All right, so we own fields 45, which encompass the original farm. 46, 47, 59, where our solar panels are. 54, and this little extra grassed area down here. Strip field 52, 51, and 53. So where our main farm is going to be, okay, in the future. So when we start building out different production buildings or what have you, we got plenty of room for that. All right. So what do we have? Actually, we can pick up. So we've got that one. So what's over on this field? 57. I can probably just do this, can't I? So that's sugar beets. The new crop types. So we've got no new crop types on our current field, it looks like. No, okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to... Oh, did we get the sorghum up? I mean, it's quite a lot of sorghum, isn't it? What do we got here? Sugar beets. What's over in field 55? I mean, it kind of makes sense to make the most of it. Oh, canola, withered. All right, so that's going to be our first job, get that ploughed out. So we might just go hard. We'll get a huge patch of carrots underway. Okay. Ooh, telehandler. It's not a bad buy, actually. 40 grand. Probably not something we need to worry about at this stage. Alright, should we go a large tractor? See what the leasing costs are going to be. Fendt Vario 1000. How much to lease? Base costs per day 3,000, per work hour 7,000. Could be a little bit of overkill. Yeah, I think this sorghum's going to be a good get because we can start selling that straight away. So let's get a harvester. We're going to lease one. Let's go something reasonably large. Maybe one of these guys, class. Okay, let's lease that. And we'll get a suitable header. Actually, I'm just going to use my go-to header. So let's go and grab one of the drapers. So the drapers are the tow behind variety, which is this one here. So this is the one I prefer. Might just go. So I think because we've got a significant amount of sorghum there, it's worthwhile getting up just so we can make some money pretty much straight away. Now we should be able to drive this pretty much uninterrupted to the field, and that's part of the reason why I got rid of those trees as well. Right, so let's unfold the harvester, and then we're going to need to get a trailer, and we'll take this over to Grain Pool East and store it, or we'll just sell it directly. So let's go and grab a tractor. So I'm just going to go the JCB fast track just because it's quick. Get the BKTs. Alright, initial lease costs, that's good. Alright, and then so we're going to look to get a trailer that can carry everything. So one of my go-tos is the Fortis 3000. So let's just double check in the UI down the bottom there. That'll actually carry beets, carrots, parsnips. So that's all the new crops. So that's the one we're going to go for. And let's go BKTs as well. BKTs with wide tyres. That's no point because it's a lease. Alright, let's lease this. Okay, so this is going to cover our carrots and crops. Right, next thing we want to do is we want to get this field here prepared for so that's withered canola. So we want to get that prepared for probably carrots, I would say. So we need to get some cultivation happening. Okay, so let's have a look at which cultivator we're going to use. We might have a look at what's available in the premium expansion in terms of cultivators. So let's have a look. So this is a disc harrow. This is a shallow cultivator, 10.5 meter working width. This one will do 12.5. Need a pretty hefty tractor for them though. What's this? Bednar, 8 meter. So these are all the new harvesters and such. All right, let's go one of these newies. I reckon I'm going to go, what's that? 10 meters, 330 horsepower. So we're going to need a decent tractor for that. Or do we go something bigger so it gets done faster? Let's have a look at the OG cultivators. Try and be sensible about this, so we're not going to blow through all our cash too quickly. So this will do 7.5, 6 meters, 12 meters. Roster mash, what's their horsepower requirement on that? 375, 320. Let's just go this one actually. So 375. Okay, and then we just need a tractor to accommodate that. Let's go something around the 415 horsepower mark. I reckon this will do it. Okay, cool. So basically, just to cover the leasing costs, we've got the solar panels, which we've already talked about, and then we're going to go straight into trying to get bulk crop in the ground. And the carrots yield pretty highly, so kind of makes sense that we would try and amplify that as much as possible. Just double check this is withered. Yep. So what I'll do here is I will cultivate so lower it down, get a bit of a headland happening. Alright, looks like our combine's done, so let's go and unload. So the thing with leasing you got to be aware of is obviously if you go too hard on leasing too early, your cash flow won't cover the cost of your leasing. And obviously we've got a view to buy what we need to as well, so the plan will be to go lease first, then once we get the cash up, go for the used equipment and then start building out the fleet that way. Alright, let's get this guy unloaded. Checking on this guy. Alright, so far so good. Alright, let's go and have a look at carrot planters. So I think they're in vegetable technology. What do we got? Yep, so these are the ones we want. So we've got ridge makers. So I don't know if the ridge makers are required or not. Let's have a look at these seeders. So this is the Cavernal end. It'll do 6 meters, so will this. So let's have a quick look at the in-game help for the new crops. Alright, here we go, premium expansion, so crop icons. So we've got soups, potato chips, carrot soup, blah blah blah. So we're going to go get all those done. Okay, creating ridges. Before selling new crop varieties, it's now possible to create ridges with the Garami GF800 ridging equipment. This new step not only makes vegetable field look more realistic, but it also adds a fertilizer stage. The cultivation itself, as with previous root crop, requires specialized seeding, blah blah blah. So we don't need to do the ridges. And then we've got to harvest, and then we sell it. Production chains, pretty straightforward. Animal feed, some more animal food. With the introduction of new vegetable varieties, parsnips, red beet, you can now have more options to feed. Okay, so the pigs will take the new crop types, and the horses will take carrots, parsnips, and red beets. Interesting. All right, I think what we'll do is we'll forego the ridging for now, and we're just going to go the seeding. So let's go to the Cavernal land, I think, because it'll do 6 meters. and only needs a 70 horsepower tractor, so let's lease that one, and then we'll get a small tractor. So this is going to be purpose built for our, let's go a Valtra N series maybe, or a class. So it might go 205 horsepower. Do we get a front? I don't think we'll need a front loader for now. Let's just lease that. Okay, see if these guys attach. I don't think we need any front weights. Okay, let's just double check. Unfold cedar. Make sure we've got the right width here. So you can connect these to the ridge markers as well, the ridge makers. Yep, that's fine. Okay, let's grab our seed. Now, I don't think these have a huge capacity for seed. Yeah, very little. Alright, let's go straight onto carrots. And what I'm going to do is, because I've missed a bit of this field, let's get this guy to cultivate up around where we need to. I actually probably want to be going the other way, but once we get established in a bit of a routine, how we're going to farm these fields. Okay, let's lower that down. Now the other issue too is this seeding operation is probably going to take quite a while, so it might be ideal to have multiple seeders running at the same time if we can, just to speed up the process. So our combine's ready to empty again, so let's get this underway. So what I'm going to do is I'll send this guy off this way, so we'll do the longer run first. Go and get this guy emptied. Now the grain pool east is over near the train station, so we'll be able to store that free of charge. Okay, let's get this guy unloaded. Okay, probably too wide of a header for this combine, to be fair. Okay, so he should unload while we're attending to this guy. Okay, let's get him unfolded. Now what I'm going to do is hopefully they won't run into each other. Yeah, so if you put the ridge makers, it'll give you those ridges and the fertilizer state. But otherwise we're basically just left with that sort of setup, which is fine. I can just double fertilize, I'm not worried about that. I will use the ridge maker at some point just to sort of test it out and see how it goes. Okay. Alright, how is this guy looking? Halfway full. So we should be able to get this field all the way done. Then we'll go and drop this off. Let's double check the price of sorghum. So 1,400, and peak price is in January, so we're not far from peak price. Alright, it's all happening. Could probably look to get some more cultivation happening actually. So we've got sunflowers here, which I'm going to discard because I'm not really interested. Probably look to join field 58 and 57, to be honest, because it kind of makes sense, I think, to have those guys joined. And we'll keep field 50 and 56, so 55 and 56 as they are, and then we'll get these guys sorted as well. So that looks like it's withered, and that looks like it's withered as well. So I don't want to alter the fields too much. Could probably, I'll just put a field in here. I don't think I'm going to do anything too crazy, and then we'll go from there. All right, so it looks like this guy should be able to keep pace pretty well. Where is he? He is missing a little bit of the edge though. So that might be, it's probably because I didn't line him up straight to begin with, I'm assuming. Yeah, no, it definitely looks like that. Well, unless it tapers off, maybe it does. It's not quite at 90 degrees anyway. It's a bit of a bummer, but anyway, we'll persevere. Alrighty. Alright, let's check used vehicles. I know we already did, but telehandler for 40,000. What could I use the telehandler for? I mean, there's probably going to be some use for it, right? I think what I want to do is I want to keep onto the cash that I've got. One thing I do want to check is how much that loan cost has been for the last couple of days. Where are we? Finance screen. Yeah, so loan interest is 1,666. So very, very minuscule. All right. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll leave this episode here. So just a bit of a setup video, plan for moving forward. So we're going to get stuck into all the root crops. We're going to go potatoes as well. We're going to do canola for the potato chips. And then we're going to do the soup. And then we're just going to try and come up with the most efficient way possible to get these carrots farmed in bulk, transport them around, do what we need to, and sort of make a go of Zielonka. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you stay tuned for the rest of the series, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.